Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else otherwise engaged, enraged, and engorged, your chairperson, Justin Elizabeth Sayre.
Well, good evening. Good evening. I am your chairperson of the International Order of Sodomites. A centuries-old organization promoting the LGBTQIA, a terrible sandwich, but wonderful people. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else engaged, enraged, and engorged, thank you so much for coming to this little experiment we're doing tonight. We're bringing back the meeting, of course. But tonight's kind of like a precursor to that. It's like the state of the gay address. You know, I wore my pearls. It's very formal. It's been a while since I've seen some of you. I'm a they now. Isn't that exciting? Got a little queer upgrade. You know, gay was getting a little old hat, so I thought, why not change things up? Be part of the young people's movement. Confuse my mother even more. And people get real weird about me being a they for some reason, though I'm like, we've met, right? Of all the they people you know, I'm the theyest. This is where they make sense. This isn't somebody you see in a grocery store and you're like, oh, that man over there. You'll be like, that person is on some sort of medication I'd like to check out myself. Just for a fun weekend. Who knows what'll happen to me? You know? So, no, I feel very they, and people get real weirded out about it. Very weirded out about it, because they're like, especially people who want to have sex with me, which are rare. No, it's not true. But a lot of young people, I say young people, like I'm feeding the children. Sometimes. At first, I get a lot of daddy attention, which I'm sure you know and are uncomfortable with. Because let me tell you, if somebody's looking for a daddy, they didn't have a good one round one. Just saying. They're never looking for positive reinforcement. They never want, like, a nice dad in a sweater with glasses being like, you can ride a bike, you can do anything, Johnny. They're like, you dirty little faggot. I never liked you anyway. And that's how love is born. No, but people get very weirded out about me being a they, and they don't know how to handle it. And that's why I started asking people to call me Jess. Because I thought, oh, that's kind of gender neutral, and you know, you're incog. Who knows what I'm doing? Truly, I barely know. But it all kind of makes sense to me, and then I get the grammatical argument, which I'm going to give you all as a token tonight for being here, part of the meeting. The quickest way to solve the grammatical argument, because you know you're just among so many grammarians all of a sudden. So many people who like aced AP English and they're like, oh, that's a dangling participle, Marion. You know, fuck you. All of a sudden everybody's about grammar. Let's read your texts. So I would say to you, if you were at a party, right, and someone left their umbrella, you wouldn't say, I hope he, she, or they come. You wouldn't say he or she comes back for his umbrella. You would say they, a plural unknown category. That's me in front of you. And when you say, I hope they come back for the umbrella, you're not hoping a whole squad of dancers shows up and is like, we're here for the umbrella. You're not hoping that. You know, one person, you're referring to them as they, you do it all the time, stop it. Or I will ruin this Christmas after all. Yeah, it's a terrible state of things. And I like being a they because then you get out of a lot of conversations that I don't want to be a part of. Like, I'm going to teach you something tonight. that I don't think I've ever talked to you publicly about, but I would like to encourage you in these modern times to really play it dumb, or just play it so gay that you feel like you can barely function. Because what happens is people do things for you. Like, I walk into a Target looking like this, and people are like, how can we help you? God help me if I ever walk into a hardware store, someone will build me a house before I leave. Because they're like, this bitch doesn't have a job. Who would hire her? I do. I play it up. I'm like, a hammer and nails. Whatever I do with it. I know about getting nailed, but fellas, that's tomorrow night. You know, Paul Lynde did up for them. They go crazy. They do things. I've had people go grocery shopping for me. Just everything. Everything. Oh, could you go in the back and look? Sure I can, sweetheart. You just stay up here and think about second cock. Which, guess what? I was anyway. No. Really, play it up. It especially in New York now, because it's becoming, again, a last bastion of where you can be gay. And you can't even be gay here. Did you hear the Proud Boys are in town? Yeah. Yeah, they tried to break up a drag story time somewhere today. Can you, in fucking New York City? What the actual fuck? Didn't we own this island a long time ago? Wasn't this where you came? Oh, I'm real angry tonight, so get ready for a good show. Wasn't this where you came to, like, get away from that bullshit, and now they're here? What the fuck? I blame Phantom of the Opera. For 35 years, it's been inviting these idiots into town to see a chandelier break. And they get here and they're like, oh, we should live here forever. And there should be a Target in Times Square. There should be hookers in Times Square. It's their ancestral homeland. I was at a performance the other night, and they did that terrible thing that theaters are doing right now, which is a land acknowledgement. Do you know about this? Where a little white girl, a little white intern comes out. And she says namaste or something ridiculous that she shouldn't be saying in the first place. And she acknowledges that the property we own is native land and that it was stolen. And then she fucks off. And I'm always like, does anybody get any money? Are you paying rent to anybody? What's happening? I have this beautiful native friend, and I'm always like, next time we go to one of those, I want you to march up to the stage and be like, I'd like the keys, please. You said it. I own the building now. You got a new landlord. And just watch a 22-year-old from NYU being like, my woke mind will explode. I have to take action. Who knows what will happen? Yeah, no, I'm annoyed with everything and everyone. And I'm especially annoyed that we kind of have to do these meetings again. I know just what you want to hear at the top of a show. I don't want to be here. No, but what I mean about it is, I thought, because we did this show for 8.5 years, and for 8.5 years, every month, I would look up every terrible gay thing that was said over the course of a month, which you'd be surprised is a lot. And all the terrible gay pieces of art that are made, which you would be surprised, there's a lot. And I would have to watch these things and sift through them and think about them deeply and come up with witty arguments to entertain you, and it was exhausting. And I took a break and wrote 15 plays. You know. But now, here we are, and I was out to dinner with a few friends the other night, and they were like, you said that line once. When they take us off to the camps, it'll be fun for a minute. Just because we'll all be on a bus and I'm sure there'll be a sing-along. defy me. I'll meet you there. If somebody isn't like, put on your Sunday clothes and you'll feel down and out, we're not on the right bus. No, but now they're coming for us again. They are coming for us again. And I'm angry about it every day. Really angry about it every day. And when I was announced, I was going to do a play of mine here. But instead, I decided to do the meeting because I started getting all these responses being like, there's so much going on that's bad in the world. Can't you take on that all again? Pretty please, we'll pay the cover. And I was like, fuck it, yep. So I've sifted through all this bullshit. And I've come here tonight to talk to you about the state of the gay in America. Jesus Christ, we're fucked, huh? I mean, we'll get into the politics in a bit, but what the fuck are we making? Have you watched any gay television recently? I, on a dare, watched that show about DILFs, hosted by Stormy Daniels. For those of you who don't know, it's a dating show where a group of older gentlemen, dads per se, never an Auntie or an Evelyn, but dads, are pursued by a group of 20-somethings with a lot to prove and not a lot settled in the frontal lobes. It's not television to make you proud by any means. It really is. It's television to shame you. And I was shamed, but I watched every fucking episode of it. And I'll tell you why. At one point, it started giving me hope. Hold on. Not too much hope, but some hope. Because I thought, well, what if this show keeps going? It's very popular. People want it. Because it's a fucking train wreck. And these 20-somethings, these are mental patients. They're real. I say that with all the bad connotations it has. I'm not cleaning up my language for you. They are disturbed young people. A man, to prove his worth at a dining room table, took off his pants and twerked on it. And everybody was like, she really proved a point. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Use your words. I don't need to see your asshole when we're trying to have aperitif. It was insanity. Insanity. And I know firsthand from the lines of dating younger men, holy fuckballs. They're crazy. I'm going to tell you a story. This is a diversion, but we're getting back. We're staying on politics. Buckle up. I had a rule recently that I couldn't date anyone under 27, which I thought was reasonable. Right? I'm 40. I thought, all right, technically I was a man because I was bar mitzvahed by the time you were born, but otherwise, we're still contemporaries on some field. So I met this guy on one of the fucking, I don't remember do you remember which one? Unless they're saved in my phone as a Grindr or a Scruff twin, I got no idea where we met. You have the whole Scruff family in your phone? Tim Scruff, Bill Scruff, Steven Scruff, Avon Scruff. They're all cousins. So he was 38, which I thought, oh, look at an adult. He was like a little perma-twink. He was 5'6", which, I love. You're small and angry about it? Yes. And this is the kink where it comes in, and I'm sorry to share this with you, but here we are. In his teenage years, he had played Peter Pan at a Disney theme park. He had played Peter Pan. I'm gonna fuck Peter Pan. I'm gonna fuck the boy who never grew up. I am Tinkerbell acting my revenge. This was like a fantasy I didn't even knew I had. But when he was like, oh, I was Peter, I was like, you were king of the Twinks for how long? I was like, have to have it. So, have to have it. So we start talking. We get into one of those conversations that happen in gay, where you're sitting halfway through a conversation and you go, you know, this is all internal because you're not allowed to speak. I thought I was interesting. I thought I'd read a lot of books and knew something about politics. I thought I had an interesting story to tell, but no one at this table seems to be interested in that. And you're just sitting there and listening to someone talk at you for hours and hours. And at the end of that tunnel, you're hoping there better be a pristine asshole at the end of this. Like something that you're like, wow, William Sonoma has nothing on you. This. Let's get this embroidered on pillows. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening to I'm waiting for a question about me. Nothing's important about me. That's fine. I often feel the same. We get to the end of the conversation and he starts laying it on thick that he really likes me, right? And I'm like, how would you know? You like that I listen? Believe me, very soon I'll tune out. Right now, I'm going to impress you with recall to say, oh, remember that time you did that? When you will take that and run with it and talk for 20 minutes, and I'll sit there and go. So, he tells me how much he likes me. He shows me the asshole, which, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what she was doing, but wow. And I thought, all right, I could sit through another dinner of not being asked any questions about myself, you know? So the next day, I get a phone call from this gentleman, 38 years old. And he says, and it's a FaceTime at noon. Girls, let me be real honest for a minute. I'm a gentle person of 40 American years old. I'm not taking a fucking FaceTime without a lighting crew. And certainly not on a noon on a Tuesday because you want to be cute in a line at Starbucks. Fuck you. But I don't say that. I just pointed at my ceiling and being like, this is what you get. When you call in the middle of the day, you can talk to my crown molding. It'll sound a lot like me. But I'm not going to be on camera because you didn't send the makeup lady around to make sure that I was camera ready at noon on a Tuesday. So that was apparently, and this is the course of 2 days, a 38-year-old man, 2 days. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. And a 38-year-old former Peter Pan at a Starbucks in Midtown had a full meltdown on their phone at someone who just wanted to look at the ceiling but still talk to them. And I could only imagine the other customers in the place being like, what the fuck is happening? Because it went like, what the mean? You don't want to talk to me. You don't like me. This is terrible. Why would you do this to me? We hung up. And I was like, get a cake pop, girl. Like, what? What? You want to look at I don't even want to look at my face at 12 o'clock on a Tuesday. Why do you? And why does that have to be cute? And why can't we be adults about it? We can't, because you're 38 years old. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. When are we going to be mature about these things? Gay dating, oh my God. And if you're not doing it, or if you are doing it right now, what a hellscape. Currently. Oh my God. People went into the pandemic crazy, came out even fucking crazier. I mean, seriously. I saw two friends I hadn't seen in 2 years last night. They were full batshit boogie down crazy. I turned to one of them and I was like, "You're on something, right?" And she was like, "No." Why would you think that? I don't know, you're eating your hair? Pull it together, Mary. Wear a mask and get on with it. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. And then now, this has never happened before in gay history. Now, we finally have condescending married gays, which was a gay I was not seeing on the bingo board this early. They're like, dating sounds so hard. I'm glad I don't have to do it anymore. Fuck you. I know how much you hate your husband. We all do. You know? Oh, God. There is nothing on this world more condescending than a satisfied gay couple. It's the one time that I truly feel homophobic. It really is. When you go to their house and like the napkins are like florets because Steven has so much time now that the kids finally settled down with the nanny. I just fucking want to die. I do, and they can be. Not all of them. Some of them are realistic and be like, we hate each other. We just own the apartment now. So we stay for that. No, I believe in love. It is the thing. I was thinking about gay art because we were going to talk about the gay State of the Union. And I did really, remember that? Remember when we were doing a show? Remember when it wasn't just you paying to sit and listen to me bitch about everything? Remember when there was structure? Remember? No, but I was thinking about Bros, because there was a big controversy about Bros. Did you see Bros? Did you see the Billy Eichner movie? And this is why we can't have nice things. I mean, this is why. It was a perfectly fine movie. It was fine. See, your problem is... Your fucking problem is you think every gay story has to be every gay story. Get over it. We're on everything now. There's room for us all. So he told a bland story about white gays having sex in Midtown. So what? They have a story. There could be other stories. Jesus Christ. And did you see all the other people in it? Guy Branum and T.S. Madison, all these wonderful gay people. Oh, my God. But we'll go and see Megan, because who doesn't want to strangle Brian Jordan Alvarez? No. I was asked to comment on Megan recently for some gay publication. They were like, Megan is just such the camp. It's so campy. I was like, it's fine. It's a killer doll. I've seen it. I've seen it. Give me Bad Seed or something, baby. Like, give me The Girl Did It. You know? Like, really make it complicated. No. No, I didn't. I liked Megan. It was fucking fun. I don't care. I went with a bunch of gay people to go see Megan. And there were these two younger gays that I was with that they were obsessed with girls. So they couldn't get over the fact that Marnie, who had like gotten her ass eaten apparently at one point, like that's a crime. Can be if you do it right. Like they couldn't get over the fact that Marnie was running from some fucking doll. And I was like, what? I would rather be home watching Now Voyager. I'd always rather be home watching Now Voyager. Even tonight. No, I'm kidding. No, no, it is this thing, like, I do wonder, and I mean this very seriously, I wonder, because I grew up, my generation of gays, I grew up in the 80s, and we grew up in the kind of watching the AIDS crisis happen, and then came to adulthood during the kind of the evening out of things, after medications happened, and things changed, And because of that, the only gay narratives we really saw were like, your lover everybody's dying, everybody's terrible. Luckily, you'll have a moment with Maria Callas before it's all over, and then goodbye. Jesus, you didn't think it was going to go bleak this early, but here we are. You don't remember these shows as well as I do. So we grew up with this weird thing that, like, romance is fleeting. Gay people never get kind of gay fairy tales. And even if we do, I'm probably the one bitch in the audience going, yeah, wait till 2 weeks later. When he's back on Grindr. When the romance is gone, And I don't want to believe that. But I also do kind of believe it. But why can't that be okay too, We have to kind of redefine things for ourselves. And we're kind of on the cusp of it, but we're not really doing a good enough job, I think. Because, and this is what I'm going to tell you. Mazel tov. I don't know where it was coming from, but I hope it offered you some sort of relief. You think you've heard everything from an audience. And then you just hear that, and you're like, wow, there's still some magic in showbiz. Oh, farts are funny. No, so I had this experience. You think we're diverting, but this is all according to plan. I had this experience. Well, I have two experiences. One is I log what kind of porn I watch. Does anybody else do that? No. Oh, you do? And I do because I realize that the porn I'm watching is dealing with some current anxiety I'm living with. We talked to my therapist, she okayed it. So for a brief time, I was feeling very lazy about my life, so I was watching a lot of glory hole pornography. Because I thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice if you could just drill a hole in the door and somebody would deliver a dick there once a day? That'd be nice. We could dare to dream. And then I started watching this pornography that even I'm uncomfortable with, but I watch it nonetheless. So I'm going to give you the scenario, all right? We're in some sort of frat house, I don't know where. And on the floor are like big gulps and cigarettes and shoes and it's just dirty because they're dirty boys, dirty, dirty, dirty. I just imagine like the really sissy executive at a porn company pitching this. They're dirty boys, there's dirt everywhere, dirt on the floor. They're dirty, dirty, dirty. So there's dirt all over, there's shit all over the place. There's beer posters on the wall. I mean, it's ridiculous. And if I walked in as an adult person, I'd walk right the fuck back out. But something about it becomes slightly erotic 2:30 in the afternoon when I've finished watching Judge Judy. So this is how the scenario begins in these little adventures. There are a group of young gentlemen sitting around, and one tells another one that he looks like a bitch, whatever that's supposed to mean, and they start having sex. Immediately, right there amongst the garbage. Which I don't know what that says about me, but there we are. So they're having sex amongst the garbage. And there are other people cheering them on, some of the other gentlemen. But the thing that I find so fascinating is that some of the gentlemen in the room are totally unengaged in the sex. There'll be two guys plowing each other on like an old rent-a-center sofa. and just another one sitting at the end, just watching television. Totally unfazed. He doesn't even notice. People come on him. He's like, These people are plowing violent, aggressive sex, like, oh my God, are everybody okay? And yet, the thing that is so fascinating is there are people just walking by, like drinking a big gup and throwing it on the floor. And for some reason, that's the hottest part to me. Because I think, wouldn't it be nice if you could live in a world where you could just fuck somebody at a restaurant because you got in the mood? And rather than being judgmental about it, we all went, oh, look at them, that's nice. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be great if we lived in a society where people could just have consensual sex on the sidewalk instead of peeing on it? That's become something I've noticed when I'm back in New York. I've seen more people shit in New York than I've ever seen in my entire life. It's crazy. And peeing everywhere. Why are people peeing everywhere? We're gonna drop that comment in the suggestion box. Hopefully for next month, one of you can come up with an answer. No, so I've been watching this pornography, and unlike the rest of you Puritans, and I kind of question myself, because they use a lot of language I don't like, you know. There's a lot of like, I'm gonna massacre this pussy. No, you're not. You're going to rigorously fuck it, yes. Everyone will enjoy it, but let's not massacre it. Let's think about our words, darling, shall we? Yeah, no, I think about it. Because I really get it. I really get mad about it. Like, okay, I'm going to be honest. I get a lot of, for some reason, I don't know why people look at this face and see rape. But I get a lot of young men being like, rape this, daddy. And I'm like, I will never. I am so liberal. I don't even want you to say the word. That's not something funny we should joke about. And they get real upset. And they're like, oh, I didn't know. You're they, them. Oh, God. You know. The chick is up. You know. And I understand, like, people have fantasies and they want to get into things they would never do in life, but I just don't want it. And I don't want us to be treating each other like that. Do you understand? Because here's the thing. It's 10:05. We got a lot of time left, so keep those claps to a minimum. Very good. Thank you. Moving on. No, it is this thing. I had this experience once. Well, you get to a certain age. Forgive me. Wow. What rabbit hole are we down now? Even I don't know. I had notes, but I didn't bring the glasses to read them, so we're freeballing right now. I had this experience once where this young guy came over, and he kept saying really awful things to me, and I would correct him. I'd be like, listen. Grammar. No, not grammar. Not grammar. He would say like, yeah, you're gonna murder my pussy. I'm not gonna murder it. I'm gonna be nice to it. I'm so happy it's here. You're asking me to be mean to the one person who wants to have me inside them tonight. I'm gonna be nice to that person. You know? So he kept using all this language and it wasn't working, and I would say like, hey, I'm not into that, whatever. And then he turned it around on me and he was like, yeah, daddy, you like to fuck little boys? And I was like, wait a what? And he was like, yeah, you like to fuck little boys, you pervert? And I was like, whoa, Mary. No, we're gonna stop right there. And I did, I stopped right there. I was like, ho, no. You see, dear, I'll call you a faggot because I see that as a term of endearment. But I'm not a pervert. We're not doing anything wrong. We're doing something wonderful here. If you need to scope that in a different way for yourself to get off, you need to look to Jesus to figure out what's going on there. But as for the rest of us, we dealt with all that shit, as you can see from the decor in this house. The theme of my bathroom is flamingos. I am not a pervert, I am a faggot. And he got really upset. And he was like, well, I'm just playing a game. That's not a game I want to play, honey. No thanks. No thanks, because that gets into all sorts of shit that we don't need to be dealing with anymore. Like, really? Really, still? Now, I'm not saying that all BDSM and all that stuff is bad, because it isn't. A lot of people work through a lot of valuable things and connect to people in really rich ways that they wouldn't have done otherwise. And sex between gay people has always been a tool, has been a way in which we pass on information, and chlamydia, which is information in its own way. Because you're going to have to figure out how to get rid of that, girl. Summer's coming up, and you don't want a sore throat. I recently had an STI. I don't care. I'm popular. Like a few months ago, and the guy that tested me had been to the shows. And he was like, is this weird? I'm like, not for me, honey. He's like, oh, well, I think you're so talented. And I'm like, and apparently very talented in bed. Can you give me a little shot of something? Because I sound a little closer to the lady from Beetlejuice than I want to right now. He was nice about it. They're nice about it. They're very forgiving. But I had no shame about it. I still don't have any shame about it. Listen, you live by the sword, you suck a dick at a train stop, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. It's the rules of the game. You know, you can't get a bingo every night. You know? Just how it happens and how it happens. And I really have delved into all that shame stuff because I question where the shame is still coming at us. Because it is still coming at us. Like, for instance, do you mind everybody having a good time so far? I don't know about you, but I've been very entertaining. I'm sitting in my living room and I'm watching the Grammys, and I'm watching Sam Smith doing that number with Kim Petras, right? And it's great, and it's sexy, and it's like, oh, look at that fat girl go. I can say it, I'm a they too. And I sit there, and all of a sudden my head goes, uh-oh, they're gonna get us for this. They're gonna get us for this. This is too far. This is too far. They're gonna get us for this. And I wish I lived in a world where I didn't think that. Because immediately my head goes to a place of like, I'm hiding gold bricks in the sofa. You know, I go to like post-Holocaust Jews in Brooklyn. I'm like, how are we getting out of here if things go bad? And I'm thinking about that already. And I know a lot of people, I know real trans people, real trans people, as if they were fake. Seems like a lot of trouble. I know trans people that are thinking about getting out of the country, getting out of America. Can you believe that? Yeah, because the way things look, we're going to be dealing with these idiots for a very long time. And they're angry. God, they're angry. God, I couldn't tell you at what. I mean, I could tell you the real reasons they're angry. That we've been in an economic recession and trickle-down hasn't worked for anybody in 40 years. We could have told you that. We could have told you Reagan was a bastard the first time it happened, but you keep marching him out every time. We could have told you about labor. We could have told you about the environment. We could have told you about inflation. We could have told you about these things because we've been paying attention, or hopefully we have. But now they're angry at you because you want to wear makeup at a library at 12 o'clock and read a book to a child. I hate to say this, but children are the root of all evil. It's the truth. You know, I love when they sit around there like, you're corrupting our children. Please. I love to run your children off the road. Corrupting them, I'd hunt them for sport. What the fuck? Your children. Like, I have time to talk to your children. Please. I'm talking to the children I'm dating, thank you. I was on a date the other night with a man, and he said, I hope you have ID on you. And I'm like, they're not going to guard me. He's like, oh, for my dorm. I was like, we're going home. Yeah, from my dorm. Oh, God. Could you imagine this, making up to this in the dorm? No, I won't be Kevin Spacey yet. Not yet. Too soon? I've been sitting on that joke since 1999. When I saw Kevin Spacey in my dorm and went, oh my God, Kevin Spacey's in my dorm. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no. It's crazy. It's crazy. And that's the thing. We're corrupting the... What? How? I mean, truthfully... Your kids seem pretty gay already. And all the gays here, we didn't have fucking gay story hour. And look at you. You're all sucking cock in your mind right now. We didn't catch it from anybody, and God knows we tried. Years ago, I found out that this priest at my church was fucking all these other guys, and I was like, he could have solved that real quickly. Anyway. Just saying. Never mind. That went a little too dark. You all were like, I don't think we're gonna go there. I think we'd like the show to survive, please. Let's not talk about being willingly molested. Like it's the fucking Hunger Games. I volunteer. You know it. Please. If we went back in time, Marty McFly, and we offered a dick to you somewhere, you'd be like, listen, don't tell my mom. It's okay. It's okay, honey. It's okay. Daddy's here. No, it's crazy to me. And it's crazy to me that these things are happening right now. You know, there are over 100 anti-LGBTQ laws being posed all over the different states in the United States. Most of them are aimed at trans kids, which, guess what? There probably aren't that many trans kids. Like, they did a study on one state. They actually had one registered athlete who was trans. They were developing this whole law for one person. That seems like a little overkill, doesn't it? Yes. And it's constant. And it's about bathroom bills that are so weirdly and awfully drawn that mothers could get arrested for taking their kids into an opposite-gendered bathroom. And they just keep coming, and and I don't understand why. Well, I do understand why. I understand because we pose a real threat to them. Because, see, the thing that you don't remember, but I do, is you inspire somebody to be free. You did. Maybe if they can't even admit it. You came out and you said, this is the life I'm going to live. It's going to be different. You're going to have to get used to it if you want to be a part of it. And you made a change that was uncomfortable and difficult, but real. And those acts of courage inspire people, even if they rebel against them. And if you inspire enough people to question their place in the world, and question how they love, and question what they pay attention to, then you pose a real threat. You pose a threat, a real threat. Because if anybody can be anything they want to be, we're in real trouble. Because then how would we be able to subjugate women? How would we be able to withdraw and disassociate from people of color? How would we be able to dismiss real problems of other people? You are children of empathy, and you forget that all the time. See, the mere nature of your bodies means that you in this lifetime will have to create other families. You'll never procreate. You will never have a child from a wacky night at a Fleetwood Mac concert like this monstrosity was born. My mother heard the chain, her legs were up, and 9 months later, this came out. That's never gonna happen to you. So to do that, to survive, you're going to have to figure out how to love people that don't look like you. You are children of empathy. That is a great gift in this world. Oh, it's the biggest gift you got. And they chip away at it all the time. Chipping away at it now. Where is the support for these drag queens? Where are they? Where's every fucking judge that has been on RuPaul's Drag Race? Where's Ariana fucking Grande? Where are they? You're all angry that RuPaul didn't come out, but the only other celebrity that I've clocked is fucking Melissa McCarthy. Only other. Not Rihanna. Beyonce thanked us at the Grammys, but where the fuck is she now? And you have to think about it. You have to think about that. Because this is how it starts. And they chip away at it because you think it can't happen here. But it's happening here. There's a fucking anti-Semitic protest outside Parade, a musical. How dare you? Yes. Jews and gays built the American musical theater. There's Proud Boys at the center. What the fuck is happening? Yes. And you all, what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? You're here. Well, I appreciate that. But we gotta get tough. We gotta take this on because we're the canaries in the coal mine, like always. Like always. What they will do to us, they will do to the rest. And you know it. And it's why I sit on my couch watching fucking Sam Smith with those little gumdrop titties going, oh my God, we're gonna get killed for this. Sorry, I'm having a lot of issues with Sam Smith right now. I don't like, okay, let's be honest. I'm body positive, but wear some clothes. And that's, you know what that is? That's shame. That's complete and utter shame. It's why I'm in a sale tonight. You know, I get so angry about it. And I get angry for us because I just feel like we've all been told we're powerless again and again. And I get mad because we have to come back here and process this again and again. You know why I stopped doing the meeting? Because I thought I had run out of things to say. Because it all comes back to this. You are powerful. You are beautiful. Your queerness is a gift. God damn it. Gets a little more Larry Kramer than you expected tonight, didn't it? But to do that, we also have to look outside ourselves. You have to realize that it's not just you, that it's all of us. And if they come after drag queens, they're coming after women, and you have to be concerned about that. You have to be concerned about women because in most, You know, somebody told me this was like gay church, and you got it. What we're not talking about is we have set ourselves up for disaster. We've all thought that if we stayed in our little cities and stayed in our little bubbles, we would be safe. That is not happening anymore. Gays are being economically displaced all over the country. You know it. How many people live upstate now? Up where the fucking Confederate flags of New York ring high. Why? I've no fucking idea. It's not pride, it's racism. So we're all displaced, and you have gays moving to little towns thinking they'll get the resources, thinking they won't. My mother works in an AIDS clinic outside Charlotte, North Carolina. They do not have enough money. And if they do have people in real trouble, they send them to New York. Because in New York, you can get resources, because in New York, people fought for you to get resources. And that's the battle. There are gay people in Tennessee. Where the fuck are we? Why aren't we angry? Why aren't we angry about women? I know you probably never went to a Planned Parenthood, but I did. I got condoms there. I took my friends for abortion at a Planned Parenthood. Because it was what had to happen. Because we have to get in the trenches with each other. You have to see that these things are connected. And when the dominoes start to fall, you're going to be the first one they come after. And your job, your savings, all the shit you think is going to protect you fucking won't. They will take away your kids. They will take away your marriage. They will take away your rights. They are coming for you. They are coming for you. They are coming for you. And I hate to scare you because I don't want you to live in fear. I want you to fucking live in bravery. I want you to be proud of it again. I want you to care about it again. I want pride to mean something to you. Because I want you to remember these moments and still what they're doing to you. I want you to take that last bit of fear that sits and watches Sam Smith on television and says, they're coming for this, this will be too much. I want you to get rid of it. I know I need to get rid of it. I need to be more involved and be more conscious. Figure out ways to be involved. Figure out the phone calls I can make. Figure out the things that I can do. You know, somebody sent me a private message tonight about the Proud Boys. They were like, be careful, girl. I was like, I would love to see one of those fuckers try. And they were like, what do you mean? And I said, listen, I've been in 3 fights in my life. I won all 3 of them. Yeah. And let me tell you, if a bunch of neo-Nazis are going to come to Joe's pub, they're going to have it on their hands. You fucking kidding me? Not in my house. Not in my house. And you all have been to the gym, so you should be ready to fight tonight. I see you weightlifting. I see those thirst traps. You better be ready to punch a bitch. Things get real. Uh-huh. That's what it's for, dear. That's what the muscles are for, madam. They're not just so you can make your titties bounce at the Pines this summer. Look what I can do. Are you impressed, Andy Cohen? No. Yeah, no. I think about starting like a gay army. We would be great, right? We'd be so fashionable. And we'd have sing-alongs and march. But then we'd have to kill people, and I'm okay with that. I saw Dear World at City Center. It was marvelous. And the Mad Woman of Chaillot is a personal kind of totem, as you can imagine. I was like, oh, the future, okay. There was a line in the show that says, I'm not old enough to accessorize like you. And I was like, I am. So, if you don't know their story, they're trying to drill for oil in Paris, and the Mad Woman of Chaillot decides to punish all the capitalists, and she sends them into the bowels of the sewer of Paris and locks the door and never, she's like, that's the only way to deal with them. And I sat there and was like, this is reasonable. Leave it to Jerry Herman to teach me about politics yet again. I never say Jerry Herman's name without mentioning my favorite Jerry Herman joke. Do you know it? Jerry Herman was a famous fisting bottom. It's in all his musicals. Don't talk yet, I'm finishing my joke. It's in all his musicals. It's in Hello, Dolly, I put my hand in. It's in Mame, Open a New Window. It's in La Cage aux Folles, With You on My Arm. And it's in Mac and Mabel, Time Heals Everything. We love you, Jerry. We love you, Jerry Herman. No. It was great, and I thought, all right, that's the new consequence. Because I don't know about you, but I'm really tired of apologizing for this anymore. I'm tired of making any room for like, oh, but children shouldn't see that. Fucking what don't children see? I saw everything. I saw Body Heat at 8 years old. I saw Basic Instinct at 9. I saw I never got it out of my mind. Everybody talks about Sharon Stone's vagina, but you don't remember Jean Triplehorn's vagina bursting out of those stockings. I still have nightmares to this day. Don't rip them, they're silk. You know, it's insane. It's insane. What don't children... I mean, and also, children are fucking stupid. So don't tell them the truth. They believe in fucking Santa Claus. Be like, yeah, they're just roommates. I don't fucking know. I don't remember my mother sitting me down ever and being like, do you see this heterosexual couple? 3 times a year they fuck each other. That's why you have 2 cousins. Nope. Never got that lesson. I doubt we're gonna show up to my mother's this Seder and be like, yes, we have a lot of anal sex. Shall we show the children now? Jesus Christ. They learn on their own. You know? Like the rest of us did. Horrible, horrible. I was saying to a friend of mine, they were like, this guy wants me to fuck him in Queens and he's a virgin. I was like, no. Virgins are not hot and gay. You want a trained professional. You want the last light at the end of the pier, you know? She's been there a while. She knows what to do. You don't want somebody new. No, thank you. I have upholstery I care about. No, thanks. No, it's just the truth. It's the truth. Oh, it's the truth. It's the truth. And here we are, talking about it, talking about gay sex. I mean, that's the thing. They all try to get us with like, oh, you know that terrible sex men have. Yes, I do. It's delightful. People seem to like it. Because otherwise, why would we keep doing it? It seems like a lot of hassle if it wasn't worth it. Half my day is spent trying to do it. Let's be honest about that. I mean, seriously, if Grindr was a job, I'd be a millionaire. I would be a million, because let me tell you, you think I'm good on stage. Ho, ho, ho! My Grindr game is on fleek, as the kids say. The kid 7 years ago, that is. I gotta tell you, I think I'm going to write a book about Grindr etiquette, because there are things that I get really upset about. Now, I'll tell you, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. For years, I tried to be like just witty, clever on Grindr. Clever does not work! This is not the place for your humor! So I just put hung bare top, which are all true, but also me. Yeah. So I put it out there, and already my Grindr luck started to change, which was delightful. Except it wasn't always great. So sometimes I get the question, how hung immediately? Before hello, before anything, which I find rude and impertinent. To which I usually respond, hung enough to deserve a hello. Which is just the kind of like passive-aggressive mom guilt that one really wants on Grindr. Hung enough to expect a hello. Then I often get pictures of just assholes. And can I say this to you? And I mean this with real love and affection. Unless you have a fucking perfect asshole, reel me in a little bit first. Because getting to see that you were apparently recently on fire is not appealing to me. Friends, I've seen assholes that my immediate reaction was, you need medical attention. What would you like me to do with that? Besides kill its owner. What, I mean, just insanity. Insanity. And that's their opener. That's their opener. Let that be a surprise that happens in the middle of the night when I'm like at the end and like, all right, I'll put my face in it. You know, let that be a decision I have to make in a split second. Don't give me a lot of choice here. Don't say, oh my God, seriously. Seriously, and I don't know if it's just like, it's also this weird thing about Grindr where like, I hate a lot of photo requests. Hear me out. I love how people just assume now that we all know how to work our phones. I don't. And I don't have like mirrors set up all over my house to like angle you in. Sorry, everybody. Leave it to the imagination. You'll be fine. You know, like there's like, oh, I want to see your balls from the top of the Empire State Building. No, I have to work. I'm sorry. You know. And there's also I get a lot of, I don't know if I'm probably putting it out there, but I get a lot of people that want to be femmes, which I love. Oh my God. Because I love to see gay people like fucking blossom. Seriously. If you tell a little femme somewhere that you're like, honey, you can wear panties wherever you want, you will see the happiest little boy you've ever seen. Anywhere I want? Anywhere, baby. I don't care. And they're like, you won't judge me? I won't. I'll buy you some. So happy. And they're like, you don't think less of me? And I'm like, I think more of you. That's great for me. Now, that might be not everybody's cup of tea, but let me tell you, a lot of people have a lot of shit to work out. Like, seriously, okay, I'm gonna ask you this. I get masculinity to a certain point. A certain point. Like, you want somebody around that you're like, oh, if things go down, he could hang a shelf or something. Like, if things go down, he'll actually know what to do with the bat we keep in the hallway, you know, like. But otherwise, listen, this is queens only, you know, like, get over it. Really, get over it. You like it where you like it, and that's fine. We're all supportive of that. Just be happy about it, because you are most of the time. I recently had this experience with this guy who knew this whole thing was just going to be about me dating? And then yelling at you to volunteer. Like, what a strange... What a strange evening of theater you've stumbled into. We went downtown and saw a fat non-binary person talk about sex and then screamed at us because Hitler was coming. Then we talked a little bit about Demi Lovato, and then we left. 2-drink minimum. You know, just it's an insane evening. But so I was dating this guy, and he was so into it in a way that I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, I think, yes, you should like this, but you should be suspicious of this. You can like this to a point. Don't give this too much credit, because she'll run with it, and then we'll all be in trouble. So at a certain point, he said, well, you know, like, he's like, do you want to date? And I said, I don't know. I don't know. And he said, well, because, you know, like, certain things I don't know if would really work. And I said, what, certain things like what? Because I hear it. It's like a cricket in the floor. You're like, uh-oh. Here it comes. Here, there's going to be gay shame that just crawls out of the floor. And suddenly I'll have roaches everywhere that I'll be stomping on for months. Like, yes, I can listen to Barbra Streisand at home alone. Yes, it's a cast album, not a film soundtrack, you bastard. You know, all these things. What?
Hanky code.
What?
Tell your hanky code story. Your line about hanky codes. You follow.
Sure. Are you real? You're going to continue to talk?
Because you are. Your hanky code story is so fucking funny.
I'm so glad.
It's on an album.
Yes, it is.
You can purchase it in the lobby.
Yes.
You can purchase in the lobby.
Well, that's where you hear it. Oh, listen. No. No.
Sit down.
Excuse me, darling? No, let's hear it. Go ahead.
No, your hanky code story is so
Really funny.
I'm so glad.
It's on the Gay Agenda. You can find it on Spotify.
Yes, I know I did it. It's good. Thank you for reminding me. What graciousness in the middle of a show. No, you know, see, this is... Look, we're all growing. Because my instinct is to murder those motherfuckers. No. Hold on. You don't have a mic, so you can't be heard. But I'm just pulling down the rage and saying, let's continue and finish, shall we? Shall we all finish? Wonderful. So, now if I'm supposed to remember where we are, holy fucker, we fucked. Barbra Streisand. Oh, that's a broad subject, dear. Did you hear about the Barbra Streisand memoir that's 500 pages long? I cannot wait. Because you know Barbara probably didn't like anybody, and she's going to tell us about it. Like, you know Barbra Streisand has an axe to grind. Probably more than one. She keeps them downstairs in the mall beneath her house. How marvelous. Oh, no. So, gay shame, that's right. So it comes up, and it comes up still. And it comes up in these weird ways because all of a sudden my mannerisms and things like that are a little too much for people. are a little too outspoken, are a little too big. And I always remember this thing that my mother used to do. And this is true. I'd come home from school, I'd be all excited, and I'd start telling a story and go, oh my God, wait till I tell you what happened. And my mother would take her thumb and press my hand and put my hands down and say, now start again and tell me like a person. Now, did she mean it that bad? Probably. She's evil. No, she's not. I mean, a little. You'd have to be to hatch something like this. But it was always this kind of dismissal. And then I started doing things like this, and I talk all the time with my hands, and look it, we make money. So it's a very mixed, experience, but I think the thing is that I get to do that now because I've made a space for myself in the world.
Right, that's fucking right.
Like, I was at Dear World the other night, right? Dear World, yes. They heard me, so you don't have to do that. I was at Dear World the other night, and there was an actor who I had known when I was a young actor in New York, and they were playing a waiter, and they were very good. It was very good. The show was very good. And I thought, in a whole other life, I could have been the waiter in Dear World. Would you have wanted that? And you sit, you kind of, as with any night at the musical theater, you instantly think of regrets. And I sat there and I was like, no, I've had a very exciting life. I've done all these shows. I'm going to do more shows. I've written books. I've done all these things. How marvelous for me. And I was kind of grateful for my experience. But the thing that kind of triggered all that and why this show was even brought about was because the first time we had these shows, they had just taken away marriage in California. And I remember being angry about it. And I remember not knowing how to process that anger and how not to talk to people about it. Because I remember sitting in a hotel in Boston on tour with a Shakespeare company, and I remember I was the only gay little flower in that company. And they announced that Massachusetts had allowed gay marriage for the first time, and I cried because I thought, oh my God, I never thought I'd live to see this. And then it happened, and then it started happening, and then California took it away, and I was angry, and I didn't know what to do. And I thought, well, the only thing I know how to do is this, whatever this strange evening of theater is. So I'm going to do that. And I called the duplex on Christopher Street. And I said, I have an idea for a monthly show. And I don't know if it's going to be a success at all. But I'd like to do it for November and December. And my friend Adam Rosen, who's here, is going to produce it. And if the show's good, I want to do one every month. And if the show's bad, you'll never have to hear from me again. And we did the first show, and it was great. And they signed us to 6 months. And the first year we were done, we did a benefit for the Ali Forney Center. And we did Night of 1,000 Judies. And we've done that now for 11 years. And raised a lot of money for homeless LGBT kids in the city. And I don't say any of that to kind of self-aggrandize, please. She's got a lot of problems of her own. But I say it to you because I'm angry again. And I gotta be angry with you. I gotta talk to you about these things. I gotta make sure you know. I gotta lock in with you because I know that it's in rooms like this that change happens. That somebody tonight will be inspired and go out and do something. That somebody will get involved. That you'll figure out who you have to call, who you have to be, where you have to be to make a difference. To make sure that this meeting doesn't have to happen anymore. Even though it's fun while it lasts. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for new rulings for the board. The board would like to thank Ally Melissa McCarthy. Ally Melissa McCarthy. Ally Melissa McCarthy for her statement concerning anti-LGBT laws sweeping the nation. On her Instagram, Melissa called herself a proud ally who stands with the LGBT community in their struggle. So far, she's alone. The board would like to congratulate drag race winner and truly a wonder to behold, Jinx Monsoon, for making her Broadway debut at Chicago. I haven't seen so many queens going to Chicago since Pamela Anderson was in it. Which, can I tell you, if you didn't see Pamela Anderson in Chicago, you missed camp at its finest. It truly was. It was like, is this really happening? And the 5 queens sitting next to me were like, yes! She was great! The board would like to not welcome international DJ Diplo, who recently in an interview said he's not gay. I would like to tell you that I am reading this under protest of the board, because I don't think you get to be gay just for getting a couple blowies in Ibiza. If you're gonna be gay, you gotta put the time in. You gotta figure out how to get lube out of sheets. You gotta have poppers on hand, even if you do not use poppers. It's just etiquette. But we're not welcoming Diplo. Hooray. Who cares? An international DJ. Did you ever think you'd be alive to see such a thing? The board would like to throw our full support behind Fisher-Price dad, come to life, and Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg. Doesn't he look like a Fisher-Price dad? Now, you can disagree about liking Pete. We've had the worst, air traffic problems and trains keep derailing. Get on it, Pete. But where I support Pete is all these Republicans keep saying he went on maternity leave, which is their wink-wink thing to say, oh, he's a woman. Which is not a terrible thing, first of all, a wonderful thing. Pete would be lucky to be a woman. And secondly, it's just this kind of slight little dig like, oh, Pete went on maternity leave because he's so sensitive to his babies. Little faggot can't be home with the babies. And I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, seriously, of all the things you're going to go after Pete Buttigieg for, go after Chase and be like your fat wife at home. No. There are many. I was talking to a friend recently, and we were talking about Sugar and Spice from Drag Race. And hold on. Sugar and Spice fall into this very specific category of gay people that I would like to watch have sex but never speak to. Like, not even casually. Like, not be stuck and being like, hi. No, nothing. But if they were boning, I'd be like, pull up daddy's chair and let's watch how this ends. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Pete Buttigieg. I'd talk to him and his husband all night. You couldn't pay me to watch them have sex. You really couldn't. I can't, I'm sure it's hot to them and mazel. But whoa, no thanks. No, not for me. But that's fair. That's who I'd vote for president. I don't want to think about Joe Biden having sex. Or do I? You know? Could you imagine? Now you all are. The board would like to thank the Academy Awards for this year's celebration. Was it gay enough? I think so. Everywhere All at Once, major gay storyline, won Best Picture. And Lady Gaga without makeup. Why? Your guess is as good as ours. Oh, by the way, where's she? Oh, I guess we're only born that way in blue states. The board would... If you have her number, call her. The board would like to squeal with glee and tell ourselves to shut up at the arrival of the new documentary, Little Richard, I Am Everything. Comes out in April, and I got an early screener of it. Oh my girls, it is troubled. But you can't imagine that Little Richard existed, and then he's there. It's like, he's so gay. He's like rubbing makeup with Barbara Walters, and you're like, what is happening? We're just skipping the fact that he's this gay on 1960s television? We're like, yeah, we are. We are. Him and Liberace, we just assume they go home and pray. Pray to cock, that's what they do. The board would like to formally dismiss Lady MAGA USA. Yes, MAGA has a drag queen, or as she's currently calling herself, a costume artist. Because she wants to disassociate herself from other drag queens who have, and I quote, destroyed their credibility with predatory behavior. What? First of all, I've looked through this girl's Instagram. She is not an artist of any kind. And I don't mean that to be dismissive. I just mean that to be true. I've watched 15 seasons of Drag Race. I know how to blend, and I know that eye needs to be fixed. A costume artist. Of all the things, could you imagine that you would be a drag queen for Trump? Ugh. Like, how disappointing. That's what you get at the end of this? That's what I don't understand. You know, like, they're all fighting for that piece of shit. Like, of all the pieces of shit in the world, that guy's a piece of shit. You only have to look at him and be like, that's a piece of shit. Why are you orange? You're a piece of shit. My God. The board would like to thank a brave young man from Virginia named Nico for taking on Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin in for his anti-trans legislation. Nico was poised, handsome, and ready to challenge this bigot Youngkin. The young man asked, do you think girls would be comfortable with me in their bathroom? Looking like an upstanding young American man, and Youngkin, as always, flailed on himself and said it was up to parents to decide where this young man should be. Dismissed. The board would like to thank the understated First Lady and someone I like, Jill Biden. Dr. Jill Biden. That's correction I'll take. For honoring Argentinian trans activist Alba Rueda on this year's International Women's Day. You may not have heard about it because she didn't make a fucking big deal about it. She just honored the woman for the work she was doing. Move on. Love Jill Biden. The board would like to thank TikTok personality Zachary Wilmore for sharing his HIV story recently on the platform. Early this year, 20-year-old Wilmore was diagnosed HIV positive and came out in a TikTok video. He started talking about his life being over and his life taking a change that could never be reversed, that could be, that would eventually cause his death, and talked about thoughts of suicide. And in the first few days, millions of his followers reached out to talk him out of it. He is now on antiviral medications. He is being an outspoken proponent of HIV medications. And he is doing the good work by putting himself out there. Let's hear it for Zachary Wilmore. And finally, in a very depressing evening, Really, girl. We processed a lot. Do you feel good? You processed a lot. You did good, girl. You don't have to go to the gym tomorrow. You can take a day. You really deserve it. You've worked it through. And finally, on a lighter note, amongst so much bad, the board would like to congratulate the state of Michigan for not only having a Democratic majority again after almost 40 years, but for passing a sweeping anti-discrimination bill for each LGBT people in that state. For every Tennessee, there's a Michigan. We can make it work. We can do it. But we have to do it together. I feel good about being here. I feel good about being with you again. I love you too. And I love you, and I say this to you, and this is, I know it's been a weird night. It's a lot. If anybody ever asks you what one of these are, you'd be like, it's like therapy, but occasionally funny. Kind of. I just want to say that I hope that you come to these because you feel the feeling of community here. And I hope you come to these to be a part of that. But I also hope that you take what you have here and do it at home. Do more, honey. Be more gay. Come on. What's the holdup? Just do it. Because, listen, if it is all going down and we all got to be on the trucks, I want to make sure I have luggage with me. They're going to have to drag me and my wigs. Because I love it. I love how you transform the world. I love how special each and every one of you make it. I love the people you love. I love the way you love. I love you all. The meeting is adjourned. Good night.
I'm gonna Sisters, sisters, there were never such devoted sisters. Never had to have a chaperone, no sir. I'm here to keep my eye on her. Caring, sharing, every little thing that we are wearing. When a certain gentleman arrived from Rome, she wore the dress and I stayed home. All kinds of weather, we stick together, the same in the rain or sun. Two different faces, but in tight places, we think and we act as one. Those who've seen us know that not a thing can come between us. Many men have tried to split us up, but no one can. Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And Lord help the sister who comes between me and my man. We stick together, the same in the rain or sun. Two different faces, but in tight places, we think and we act as one. Those who've seen us know that not a thing could come between us. Many men have tried to split us up, but no one can. Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And Lord help the sister